Without responsible forestry, the world's forests, as well as the wildlife and people that depend on them, are severely threatened.
Deforestation continues at an unprecedented rate around the world, especially in places like the Amazon, Borneo and the Congo. It is the #1 cause of biodiversity loss.
We're still losing a large amount of what remains of the world's ancient forests that are incredibly important, not just for humanity, but for the species that depend upon them.
One of the biggest drivers for deforestation is the clearing of land for agriculture by companies or communities. In tropical countries, companies regularly clear land for large industrial oil palm and soybean plantations and cattle ranches, while communities do the same for short-term economic benefits of rice and other crops. This results in forest fires that have destroyed tens of millions of hectares of forest since the mid-90s.
And is the second most important cause of carbon emissions into the atmosphere. Therefore, it's a massive contributor to climate change.
As well as contributing to species decline, poorly managed forests contribute to an increase in human-wildlife conflict, degrade watersheds, rivers, streams and soils, and adversely affect local communities through lost livelihoods, forced resettlement, landslides and flooding.
We're talking about not just the forests as timber or trees, but again it's also as a habitat of other source of life and resource, including as a livelihood for local peoples.
It's estimated that by 2010, most of the 3 billion people who depend on fuel wood from local forests will find it difficult or impossible to obtain. And illegal logging will continue on a massive scale. The numbers are staggering. In the Congo Basin, as much as 30% of the timber felled is believed to be illegal. The same is true for the Russian Far East. In Indonesia, it's estimated that almost 60% is illegal.
Again, it's by itself with unsustained practices. Forests are gone without any future ability of supply for the industries.
Illegal logging not only contributes to forest loss, but also economic losses. Governments miss out on $10 to $15 billion a year in lost revenue due to illegal logging.
As much of illegality has to do with whether or not the governance systems in a country are able to actually capture the revenue, the income that's owed to them. And if they're not capturing the income and the revenue, then the sharing mechanisms that many countries have in place to redistribute that income doesn't then get back down to the community level where it's deserved.
There is also an economic aspect to illegal logging. Governments are losing tax revenues and companies are not able to compete on a level playing field when their competitors are acting illegally.
Illegal logging has a negative effect on prices, making it hard for legal operators to make a profit. In fact, in the United States alone, over $1 billion in losses are incurred each year by the US timber industry due to illegal logging abroad. In the face of these threats to humanity, our natural environment, business and economies, GFTN believes that global markets for forest products can be transformed into a force for positive change.